Hello, for the 16th Sunday of the year, Ordinary Time, using the first reading from the book of Jeremiah 23:11 to 16, and the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, verses 30 to 34. And it deals with my leader or your leader, Jesus Christ, of course, the Good Shepherd. This past week, I went to um, St. Meinrad Monastery with 43 of the people that studied in Innsbruck, Austria, way back when, for our last alumni meeting. And we talked about, not about the present president or the past president or your governor. Mitch McConnell did get in there because I'm from Kentucky. I take the heat. But at any rate, we talked about our past leaders in Innsbruck, Austria. And they're in the 60s, 1960s. And it was really interesting. And we really appreciate our past teachers, leaders, good shepherds. And then when I came home, I saw this, or before I went down, I knew the readings, and it applies to Jesus Christ, the Good Shepherd. He is the one with the greatest insight into life because he was sent by the Father and he was God. And it shows up in those readings. Jesus Christ. And not only that, but as you know, that first reading from the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah talks about the same thing, but the sort of the negativity. Woe to you leaders, or woe to you shepherds who mislead and scatter the flock. So we've been dealing with this for ages and ages as far as leadership, good and bad shepherds. In the Middle Ages, where the troubadours in their tunes and their songs, they communed and expressed what a leader should be, what life should be in their songs and their tunes. In the late 1400s, we have Gutenberg and the Bible and the printing press. And that is supposed to talk about leadership, the good shepherds, and who and what we ought to act and be. And then we're supposed to proclaim it to the whole world. In due time, one of the greatest vehicles, the radio. A person could talk into a microphone and thousands and even millions of people could hear him or her. What they're saying, what makes sense, what is wisdom, how we should act. And then not only just as far as hearing them, but then the television, you could hear and see the person and how powerful it was, still is. Well, finally, we have been given the God gift, the internet. And you can have one person instantaneously give their opinion, their insight, their desire, their truth, and it can be millions and billions of people that soak it in with their eyes and their ears over the internet. Unbelievable. What in the world will be next? Big step. Jesus Christ, I think, I hope you think, was that great leader. Oh, we call him the Good Shepherd. We call him the King, Christ the King, King of the universe. Yes, I think He was the greatest leader ever. And he has the wisdom and the power and the knowledge to express himself what he thinks and is more important than any other communication. Not the Magna Carta or the Declaration of Independence or whatever. But he is the Good Shepherd. You know, somehow he didn't talk about all the rules and regulations and so forth. He talked about what the Father wanted him to reveal. And it was a big deal. And somehow his personality, his insight, he was intense, but it came across with the common person, with the regular guy, gal in his environment. And he worked his butt off. And he goes and he says, let's, guys, I don't know, a few women, let's get out of here and go someplace where it's restful, it's peaceful for a while. And he did. And lo and behold, they were so attracted to him that they followed him. And when he got there, they were there. And he looked on them with compassion because they were like a flock without a shepherd. And then it says there in the gospel, and he began to teach them. So, what is truth? What is justice? What is love? What is peace? How should I act? What should I be? What should we do? It keeps going on and on and on. I don't know about you, but I think this Jesus Christ really did teach. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. And he did teach how we should live. How should we live? How should we forgive? And how we should love. And we in the world, coming through, maybe starting through this pandemic, Jesus Christ knew how totally we in history, all of us, are connected with God in the image and likeness of God. And he knew how we were made, why we were made, and how we ought to be. And he preached that. And he preached that, and he says, with the help of God, and in due time, if you change your heart, it's the beginning of the kingdom of God. It's the beginning of the kingdom of heaven, as Matthew says. Or it's like going to heaven. And that's true. And he is that leader. He is that person that we need to know and be and do like. Pretty simple. Very difficult to pull off. You believe that? Who is your leader? Who's your leader? Is it Jesus? Is that nebulous concept God? Is it the person of Jesus Christ, King of the universe? I hope you do. Have a good day.